The hospital room was silent. Kiao Anxia clenched both sides of the chair, turning to look at Lu Jinian, who was still holding Kiao Anhao. His gaze never once left the woman in his arms, as though there was no one else in the room. Right now, he was oblivious to the surroundings. There was only Kiao Anhao in his eyes. As the night deepened, Kiao Anxia slightly loosened her rigid body, standing to pour 2 cups of water. She walked over, placing one of the cups in front of Lu Jinian. His attention remained focused on Kiao Anhao. He didn't even bother lifting his gaze to look in Kiao Anxia's direction. Kiao Anxia pressed her lips into a thin line, her grip on the cup tightening. In that instance, she felt as though she was unneeded and a hindrance in the ward. Kiao Anxia sat in front of Lu Jinian for a while before giving up, leaving the ward with the cup in her hand. She stood in front of a window in the corridor, staring out at the dark skies, her vision blurring. As time trickled by slowly, the night deepened. Gradually, the traffic slowed, and when it reached 1 a.m., Lu Jinian's assistant returned with a fresh set of clothes. He knocked on the door before entering. Placing the bag of clothes on the sofa, he left silently. Just then, he saw Kiao Anxia, who was staring out the window in a daze. Once again, he asked, "Miss Kiao, Mr. Lu can take care of her. Do you want to go back?" Kiao Anxia remained silent for a while before speaking with the slightly raspy voice. "I'll stay a little longer. Once Kiao's in a stable condition, I'll leave." Lu Jinian's assistant stood beside her silently, accompanying her. After about half an hour, Kiao Anhao's IV drip was nearly empty. Lu Jinian pressed the emergency button, calling the nurses over. They tended to Kiao Anhao, checking her temperature and blood pressure. After confirming that she had recovered, they looked towards Lu Jinian. She ingested hallucinogens, but luckily the dosage wasn't detrimental. But it would be better for her to stay another night in case her condition worsens. Lu Jinian nodded. Once the nurses left, he reached out to feel her pulse, realizing that it had finally calmed down. Previously, when he left the hotel, her heartbeat was so fast he could barely keep count. She was no longer unconscious and had sunk into a deep sleep. Lu Jinian took a deep breath, placing her onto the bed carefully. He removed the bedsheets and swimsuit that was wrapped tightly around her before making sure she was fully covered under the blanket. He went to the bathroom, and after a while, he came out with a slightly damp towel. Sitting on the edge of the bed, he removed the blanket and began to tenderly wipe her flawless skin. Producer Sun had touched her. She would have felt violated and disgusted. He wanted to make sure she was clean before she woke up. Kiao Anxia's phone vibrated, snapping her back to her senses. She reached into her bag, fishing it out. The moment she unlocked it, she realized that there were multiple missed calls from Gong Yan. It suddenly dawned on her that she had left the hotel without informing him. Before she could call him back, Gong Yan called again. She swiped the phone and Gong Yan's anxious voice came through. Xia? Where are you?" Kiao Anxia lowered her eyelashes and in an apologetic tone said, "I'm sorry. Kiao was in danger just now. I didn't have time to inform you."